Members of a local church are reacting after a vote on the same-sex marriage ban. A West Virginia official resigns because of an argument over an anti-Muslim poster in the state capitol. And in sports, the Ohio men's basketball team is surprising a lot of people, especially after a big win this weekend. Newswatch starts right now.
Broadcasting live from WOUB TV in Athens, this is Newswatch.
Good evening, I'm Steven Hernandez. Thanks for joining us. Some Athens churchgoers are upset after leaders of the United Methodist Church decide to uphold the church's ban on same-sex marriages. In a vote last week, Methodist leaders voted 438 to 384 to adopt the church's traditional plan, as opposed to the One Church plan, which would have allowed same-sex marriages. Dr. Michael Sweeney, a member of the First United Methodist Church in Athens, is concerned about the church's future as a whole.
There are a lot of concerns around the country and around the world that the Methodist Church will split.
At Sunday's sermon, Athens pastor Robert McDowell addressed these concerns. He insists that the Athens Church will, quote, continue to be the most welcoming and inclusive congregation that it can possibly be. A total of 19 people were arrested over the weekend at Millfest in Athens. The street-wide block party, mainly attended by OU students, began in the morning around 10 a.m. before police shut down most of the parties around 3. According to a release by the City of Athens, the Athens Police Department arrested 4 people on alcohol-related charges. OUPD charged 8, and the Ohio Investigative Unit arrested 7. Athens County Emergency Medical Services also responded to 4 calls to service, with 2 people ending up at Oblenis Hospital for alcohol-related symptoms. A Lancaster woman is being held on a $1 million bail accused of drug trafficking in Athens County. Jessica Morris pleaded not guilty to charges involving distribution of methamphetamine, heroin, and cocaine. Records show the activities occurred between 2018 and February of this year. Morris will be back in court April 25th. Also, a Cambridge man is facing life in prison for the death of a 6-year-old boy. The Zanesville Times recorder reports Marvin Benson was found guilty after a 5-day trial in Gunzory County. He was found guilty of involuntary manslaughter, felonious assault, and endangering children. The 6-year-old, Wyatt Alexander Mounts, was found dead in his home last April. Benson was the live-in boyfriend of Wyatt's mother at the time of the child's death. A man in Ohio will be sentenced after he pleaded guilty to a hit-and-run that killed a police officer. Prosecutors say Brian Anthony was drunk and high on drugs when he struck the officer in Mentor last June. Anthony entered a guilty plea to a string of charges Friday, including aggravated vehicular homicide and a failure to stop after an accident. Officer Matthew Mazzani was struck while conducting a traffic stop. The driver drove away after the crash, but the car was later located and tracked back to Anthony.
Good evening and welcome back to the Newswatch Weather Center. I'm forecaster Adriana Davies, and today in Athens we did see some below average temperatures for this time of the year. We are sitting right around 20 degrees below average. So we are going to move back into these warmer temperatures as we head into the weekend, but we'll talk about that a little bit more later on in the show. As for tonight around the region, 10 degrees in Athens tonight, 13 degrees down in Ironton and over in Ripley. Mostly clear skies, so you will be able to see those stars as you head out the door this evening for any outdoor activities. Hopefully you have that coat and take a hat with you as well. The wind chills will be dipping in to the low to almost even negative numbers. By 8 p.m. we're looking at 8 degrees for the wind chill, so 19 degrees actually outside, but you can see those clouds beginning to clear as we move into the early morning hours. By midnight, we're looking at 14 degrees and a wind chill of right around 6, and by 4 a.m., 11 degrees with a wind chill of right around 5 degrees. So like I said, that low in Athens is right around 10 degrees, relatively cold for this time of the year, but we will move back into these warm temperatures, so just stick with it a little bit longer, Stephen.
Thanks for the weather update, Adrienne. Governor Mike DeWine is expected to push for an increase in Ohio's gas tax and promote efforts to fight the opioid epidemic in his first State of the State speech. He's also expected to highlight programs he's advocated for, set to improve the lives of children. The address is scheduled for tomorrow at noon in the Ohio State House. And in opioids, in Ohio's congressional map, is Is Ohio's congressional map constitutional or not? A federal trial set to begin in Cincinnati will try to figure that out. Voters' rights groups who sued the state say Republicans used a partisan gerrymander and that the move helped ensure a 12-4 majority in Ohio's congressional delegation. Opening arguments started today, and the trial is expected to last more than 2 weeks. And one tech giant says it's going to help West Virginia expand its internet, Facebook. The company announced today it plans to build a high-capacity fiber optic cable network in the state. The network would be 275 miles long. The project is scheduled to start this year and expected to take about 18 to 24 months to finish. West Virginia officials say this will help move the state's economy forward. An anti-Muslim poster displayed at the West Virginia State Capitol is causing outrage. Andrew Colgrove reports in Charleston.
Public place, and that's why I'm free to bring it.
This is the woman who brought the controversial poster to the West Virginia State Capitol, setting off a firestorm.
I am the one that put it up, yes. Okay. But I have no further comment to make to you.
In this video, posted on Twitter by the West Virginia Democratic Party, the woman declines to answer any questions about the poster.
Do you not think it's kind of racist?
No, I don't.
The woman was wearing a shirt that said ACT, the Southern Poverty Law Center, lists them as an anti-Muslim hate group.
To associate us with terrorists and terrorism and the terror or these kind of things, this is not acceptable.
The display was set up as part of West Virginia GOP Day, which the party advertised on Facebook as a day for Republicans to take the rotunda.
We are community people. We are productive people in this community. This is our country. This is what we love.
This is foul. This is un-American.
Jamil Chaudhry is a Muslim professor at Marshall.
It was a total disappointment. I expected better things to happen in my state rather than this. This is pure hatred.
Chaudhry says he's seen anti-Muslim sentiment grow in recent years.
We would ask our legislators and even our president, if necessary, that they should do something about this hate mongering that is taking place.
Chaudhry saying this clearly classifies as hate speech and is acceptable nowhere, much less at the state capitol. Andrew Colgrove, WSAZ News Channel 3, Charleston.
The poster associates Congresswoman Ilhan Omar to the 9/11 attacks. The display suggested Omar's election is proof Americans have forgotten the 9/11 attacks. Omar is a Minnesota Democrat who became one of the first 2 Muslim women to be elected to Congress last year. She is now responding. Congresswoman Omar called it, quote, the GOP's anti-Muslim display. And there was a lot happening in the State House while the poster was up. There was an argument with women displaying the poster in the House's own Sergeant-at-Arms. Outside Delegate Mike Caputo pushed his way through the chamber doors, hurting another doorkeeper.
It sickens me. It absolutely sickens me. But yeah, I kicked that door open. I'll own it. I did. And I said some things I don't normally say. So the point should be, we shouldn't do what's going on outside.
Sergeant-at-Arms Ann Lieberman declined to comment and later resigned. Republican House Speaker Roger Hanshaw says the House of Delegates rejects hate in all its forms. Lieberman was the first woman to be Sergeant-at-Arms. Coming up, a self-declared Venezuela president returns to the country after a travel ban. Plus, the British royal family is cracking down on cyberbullying. These stories and more, next on Newswatch.
WOUB is member-supported public television. Your contribution keeps WOUB available in your community. Become a member with a gift of $60 or more for access to stream more than 1,000 of your favorite PBS programs through WOUB Passport. Programs like Nature, Sherlock, and all episodes of Downton Abbey and Victoria. Pledge now at WOUB.org. And thank you.
This is a box that showed you a world beyond your own. It was just a box, but the world has changed, and so have we. And now the box can be almost any size or shape. And you decide what you want to explore. Anytime, any place. Break out of the box with PBS.
Welcome in, Hardwood fans. Now, as you know, we've already aired our season finale where you see all these great people behind me who made our all-hero and all-feature teams. But that doesn't mean our coverage stops. There are still a lot of teams in the playoffs and games left to be played. So if you want to stay up to date with all that and all the other TVC action, then go follow our social media. Like us on Facebook, add us on Snapchat, and follow us on Twitter. And always remember to be heroic.
I loved Ken Burns' series on the Civil War. It was deeply impacting. I love history. To have those stories told through these letters, through stories of love and loss, it rewrote the book on how to tell a story. When television was invented, there were a lot of people who had dreams about what it could do. I think PBS still aspires for and often succeeds at reaching the highest ideals of what television could be.
Despite a very real risk of arrest, Juan Guaidó is back in Venezuela after a week away. The self-declared president of Venezuela was met with supporters after he touched down at the Caracas airport today. Guaidó tweeted this morning that he was planning to travel back to Venezuela. The 35-year-old has become a global figure in the fight against the embattled Venezuelan President Maduro's regime. But his role in that fight has made him a target of Maduro's government. A travel ban was imposed on Guaidó, stating that he should not leave Venezuela. Guaidó ignored the travel ban, visiting Colombia, Brazil, Paraguay, and Ecuador over the last week to meet with leaders. The case of Hoda Mutana is going before a federal judge. Mutana secretly fled the U.S. in 2014 to marry an Islamic State fighter in Syria. She now wants to return to the United States with her 18-month-old son. Her family says she was born in New Jersey and is a citizen. However, the Justice Department says she is not a citizen. It argues the UN did not notify authorities her father was no longer a diplomat until after her birth. Mutana says she was naive and arrogant when she left. She also says she now regrets her social media posts that called for violent terrorist attacks in America. And the British royal family is taking a stand against cyberbullying. The royals published new rules today for its social media channels, including mandating users to show, quote, courtesy, kindness, and respect. The royal family warns that anyone posting obscene, threatening, or abusive comments will be blocked or reported to the police. The new guidelines come after escalating online abuse of the Duchess of Cambridge and Sussex.
Next on Newswatch, we are talking about a warm-up on its way, but we have to get through this cold weather here first. Stay tuned after the break. Now here's a look at stocks of local.
WOUB is member-supported public television. Your contribution keeps WOUB available in your community. Become a member with a gift of $60 or more for access to stream more than 1,000 of your favorite PBS programs through WOUB Passport. Programs like Nature, Sherlock, and all episodes of Downton Abbey and Victoria. Pledge now at WOUB.org. And thank you.
Welcome in, Hardwood fans. Now, as you know, we've already aired our season finale where you see all these great people behind me who made our all-hero and all-feature teams. But that doesn't mean our coverage stops. There are still a lot of teams in the playoffs and games left to be played. So if you want to stay up to date with all that and all the other TVC action, then go follow our social media. Like us on Facebook, add us on Snapchat, and follow us on Twitter. And always remember to be heroic.
What are you doing?
Possibilities. Your day is filled with them.
Reach up, energy in the fingertips, collapse. TV, play Downton Abbey.
And PBS helps everyone discover theirs. Anytime, anywhere.
Up in the sky, you can see it.
PBS, we're with you for life.
PBS had a special on Pearl Harbor, and once Landon started watching the show about the Arizona, he completely became fascinated.
That's Donald Stratton, and that's me.
And then his Christmas wish this year was to meet Donald Stratton, one of the survivors from the Arizona.
So good to see you, buddy.
Everything that Landon has learned from PBS, it's immeasurable.
This is for you.
Thank you, big guy.
He is living proof of the effect that PBS has had on his life.
Emergency crews in Lee County, Alabama are pouring through the trail of destruction left behind by monster tornadoes. Officials say at least 23 people have been killed, and the numbers could rise. At least a dozen tornadoes touched down in Alabama and Georgia Sunday. Kristen Holmes has the latest from what appears to be ground zero in Lee County.
We lost children, mothers, fathers, neighbors, and friends.
Heartbreaking stories of loss in the aftermath of the deadly tornadoes that ripped through Lee County, Alabama Sunday.
To know Alabama is to know that we are a tight-knit community of people. And today, each of us mourns the loss of life of our fellow Alabamians.
Officials say among those killed, a 6-year-old child. And with many still missing, the death toll expected to rise.
It's very devastating. It's probably the worst disaster that I've been involved with in my county here.
Search and rescue teams digging through the rubble. The damage, catastrophic. Mobile homes and debris were found hundreds of yards away. But amid the tragedy, there are unbelievable stories of survival.
I thank the Lord.
Despite losing their homes, many sharing gratitude their lives were spared.
Tell God thank you.
Officials say at least a dozen tornadoes touched down in Alabama and Georgia Sunday.
Everything is gone. Everything destroyed.
In Lee County, Alabama, I'm Kristen Holmes.
Now let's go check out what's happening in regional weather with Adriana. What do you got?
Thank you, Stephen. And today in Athens, we did see a high of 28 degrees, and look at that. It is about 20 degrees below our normal average for this time of the year. Our record's right around 80, and our low for this time of the year, that record is -2, so we're almost closer to the low for this time of the year than we are for our high temperature today. I know we are heading into a little bit of a cold period to come, but I promise I have good news for the end of this forecast for you. Tonight in Athens, our low is 10 degrees. With a low of 13 down in Ironton as well, and an 11 up in Cambridge. Mostly clear skies for most of the area. We will see clouds start to clear as we move through the morning hours tomorrow. As for tonight, like I said, 10 degrees, starry night, but we will see those wind chills dipping into near zero temperatures. So if you're out and about tonight, make sure you have all of your extremities covered. What a wind chill essentially means is that when the wind blows, you are going to feel this temperature that's near zero, whereas the actual temperature might be 10 degrees. So keep that in mind as you head out the door today, and even into tomorrow too. We are looking at some cool wind chills tomorrow. By 8 p.m. tonight, 19 degrees, a wind chill of 8 degrees, seeing that cooling off as we move throughout the evening, 14 degrees by midnight, and by 4 a.m. we're looking at 11 degrees with that wind chill of right around 5. Like I said, clearing skies will aid in that wind speed picking up. It's going to make it feel way cooler outside, so take that coat with you as you head out. Our precipcast for today, though, looking relatively clear. You're going to see those clear skies persist into tomorrow as well. I know the sun was nice to see today, but it was definitely not as warm as we wanted it to be outside. With that cold front moving through, we will see a little bit of a weak cold front, cooling it off again tomorrow, and then moving into the rest of the week, the same thing's going to persist. The Great Lakes are going to see a little bit of some weather makers up there, but we will stay relatively dry into tomorrow and even for the rest of the week this week. As for the bus stop tomorrow morning, 11 degrees, a wind chill of 0 is forecasted, so keep that in mind as you're heading out the door tomorrow to start your day. A cold day to persist ahead as well, with winds from the west-southwest at 7 miles an hour, so that wind's just going to kick it up and make it feel way cooler outside as you're heading out the door. Our high for tomorrow, though, 26 degrees in Athens, 31 down in Ironton, 21 over in Columbus, and 24 over in Chillicothe. Mostly clear skies. We will see some clouds begin to increase as we move throughout the day tomorrow, but like I said, 26 degrees. That is not supposed to be the moon. It is supposed to be the sun, but clouds increasing as we move throughout the day. Single-digit wind chills, too. That is going to stick around through the day tomorrow as well. 8 a.m., we're looking at a wind chill of about 1. By noon, 23 degrees and a wind chill of 12, and then by 4 p.m., 26 degrees with that wind chill of 15 with clouds increasing. The extended forecast is what I'm excited for, though. We're going to see these cold temperatures persist throughout the rest of the week this week. 43 degrees by Friday with a chance for some rain and freezing rain. But take a look at those weekend temperatures. Saturday and Sunday are going to be beautiful, and I'm very excited for that 62-degree weather. Stephen?
Thanks, Adriana. And a 90s heartthrob is dead at 52. Actor Luke Perry suffered a stroke last week and died. According to a statement by his publicist, Perry was surrounded by his family when he passed away. Perry portrayed Dylan McKay on Beverly Hills 90210 during the 90s. At the time of his death, he starred on the CW series Riverdale.
Good evening, I'm Brandon Monty. The Ohio men's basketball team got a big win and sweet revenge against Akron on Saturday in the Rubber City after the Zips won the first matchup in Athens. And it was a clean sweep in Akron Saturday as the Ohio women's basketball team prevailed as well, winning their 23rd game of the year as they look to close the regular season strong.
Is a box that showed you a world beyond your own. It was just a box, but the world has changed, and so have we. And now the box can be almost any size or shape. And you decide what you want to explore. Anytime, any place. Break out of the box with PBS.
What are you doing?
Possibilities. Your day is filled with them.
Reach up, energy in the fingertips, collapse. TV, play Downton Abbey.
And PBS helps everyone discover theirs. Anytime, anywhere.
Up in the sky, you can see it.
PBS, we're with you for life.
Welcome in, Hardwood fans. Now, as you know, we've already aired our season finale where you see all these great people behind me who made our all-hero and all-future teams. But that doesn't mean our coverage stops. There are still a lot of teams in the playoffs and games left to be played. So if you want to stay up to date with all that and all the other TVC action, then go follow our social media. Like us on Facebook, add us on Snapchat, and follow us on Twitter. And always remember to be heroic.
WOUB is member-supported public television. Your contribution keeps WOUB available in your community. Become a member with a gift of $60 or more for access to stream more than 1,000 of your favorite PBS programs through WOUB Passport. Programs like Nature, Sherlock, and all episodes of Downton Abbey and Victoria. Pledge now at WOUB.org. And thank you.
Welcome back, I'm Brandon Monty, and what a difference a month makes. On February 2nd, the Ohio men's basketball team lost to Akron by 13. But this past Saturday, Ohio traveled to the Rubber City and beat the Zips by 24. Reporter Michael Roth has the story of the blowout victory.
Ohio men's basketball team sent a message to the Mid-American Conference with a blowout victory on the road against Akron. I'm Michael Roth reporting for Newswatch, and this is how the Bobcats got their first road victory in such convincing fashion since January 12th.
Ohio got an impressive offensive performance against the Zips, being led by 6 Ben Vanderplas three-pointers. Vanderplas attributes practice mentality for the late season surge.
I think that we've just done a great job coming into practice every day, working hard, knowing what we have to do, and then just having that translate to a game. We got into an offensive rhythm, so it's just we got to keep it rolling.
The highlight of the game, though, was this Doug Taylor alley-oop slam off a pass from Jason Preston. However, what was the most surprising thing about this game? The success the road team had in each of the matchups.
Probably a 50-point swing in 2 games. Both times the road team win. I think it'd be better for both me and Coach Gross to make it so that we win our home games like that and keep the people at home happier.
Ohio is now still just 5-11 in the MAC with 2 games remaining in the regular season, but this 73-49 victory will serve notice to the league.
Ohio returns to action on Tuesday, March 5th when nationally ranked Buffalo comes to the combo. For Newswatch, I'm Michael Roth.
The Ohio women's basketball team was also in Akron on Saturday, Reporter Brian Kerp was there and breaks down the Bobcats' big matchup with the Zips.
After a tough loss on Wednesday, the Bobcats came into Akron looking to redeem themselves on Saturday, and they did just that, behind one of their star players who had a career day to keep them in the MAC East race. CC Hooks in Ohio trying to get closer to clinching that first-round bye in the MAC tournament. After scoring only 1 point against Buffalo, Hooks drained the triple in the first minute of this one. Erica Johnson had a nice game as well. She gets a 3 to fall right here. She finished with 19 points and 10 rebounds. Right at the end of the half, Megan Sefcik misses a 3. Hooks gets the rebound, takes it coast to coast, and banks it in right before the horn sounds. The Bobcats were up 35-23 at the break. Scary moment in the second half, Hooks goes up for a shot and falls awkwardly. She walked off under her own power and did return. She picked up right where she left off, getting 2 more points. Hooks finished with 31 points while grabbing 10 rebounds. Ohio came away with an 81-71 win, which is Bob Bowen's 123rd at Ohio, tying the program record. Things don't get any easier for Ohio. On Wednesday, they travel to Oxford to take on Miami in a second installment of the Battle of the Bricks. And this time, the top of the MAC East division is on the line. From inside the James A. Rhodes Arena, I'm Brian Kerp with Newswatch.
Rounding out the hardwood, there were several big high school playoff games in the Convo this weekend. Undefeated Wheelersburg continued their dominance over North Adams behind a huge performance from forward Tanner Holden. Holden made several big-time plays, and the offense was flowing free and easy. This might be our top play of the day. Holden showing the bunnies off on the lob from Connor Mullins. Flight 23 is cleared for liftoff as the Pirates rolled in this one 58-39. Moving on, Jackson showing persistence pace here as Reed Evans gets it to go on his third try. Then Cooper Donaldson gets his defender on an island after that play, goes to work, and shrugs off his man to get the easy layup. The fans gotta love it as Jackson prevails in a low-scoring contest in the Convo. 42-32 was the final. Then over to Sheridan, it was the Ethan Heller show. Gets the bounce pass here and goes Ginobili with the left hand for the easy layup, but the star guard wasn't done. After his free throw here, off the offensive board, doing his best, Ray Allen here backing up to the three-point line, and from there it's nothing but nylon from distance. The Generals cruise 65-45. Now to Trimble. Cameron Kittle playing quarterback here. Beautiful touch pass to Sawyer Coons for the fast break layup. Coons then says return to sender on this layup on defense. Then Braden Weber with a look what I found off the offensive rebound, converting the layup. Trimble wins over Peebles 58-55 in overtime. Then finally, Waterford's fans showing out, and so is Russell Young. Gets the putback to go here. Then Zane Hayes on the break is calm, cool, and collected for the Cats as he converts the layup. The Waterford Wildcats were winners in this one, 56-43 over White Oak. I'm Brandon Monty, and that's it for sports. Back to you, Ben.
Thanks, Brandon. And it was a big week for the NFL. The NFL Scouting Combine was held in Indianapolis from last Tuesday until today. The top prospective players performed physical and mental tests. One player had an ouch moment. Take a look. NC State linebacker Jermaine Pratt with the diving catch and faceplant during a drill. Oh, at least he caught it.
And now for a final look at weather. Tonight in Athens, our low is 10 degrees, a starry night tonight as well. Wind chills nearing 0 though, so keep that in mind as you head out tonight with winds from the west at 5 to 10 miles an hour. As for tomorrow in Athens, 26 degrees, clouds increasing and single-digit wind chills. This should be a sun too, not the moon, but winds from the west at 5 to 10 miles an hour. And taking a look at our 7-day forecast, it should be a beautiful end to our week this week with temperatures on Saturday and Sunday into the 50s and 60s. Stephen?
Thanks, Adrienne. And that does it for our broadcast this evening. Thanks for watching. I'm Stephen Hernandez. Stay tuned for the PBS NewsHour coming up next. And remember, you can find the latest news anytime at WUB.org. Have a great night.